Coming to you live from Geekly Studios in DeSoto, Texas. Coming to you live from Geekly's Esports Studios in DeSoto, Texas. King David Reeves and the MentorConnector podcast present another mentor moment. Great day, great mentors. Rise and grind. It's time to shine. Welcome to another special episode of the MentorConnector podcast here on the Geek Leaks Esports Masterclass. I'm your host, King David Reeves, of course, and I have a very special young lady with us here today, a great friend and sister in arms. She is, man, she's actually a singer-songwriter, ladies and gentlemen, and been doing it for some time, but I'm going to let her tell y'all how long. She's also an actress, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, an actress, like real deal, been in some stuff. I'm going to let her tell y'all about that too. And last but not least, probably her longest career is, I would consider her a veteran model. And she got her degree from University of Texas at Austin, which, you know, and we got to saw them off, but it's all love, out of love, house divided. But she's a great young woman of so many talents and gifts, but I want to bring her here to share some of her journey with you all. So all the young ladies especially, but young men as well, who are aspiring actors, models, artists, can learn from none other than my friend and sister, Miss Shailaun. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all welcome her to the show.
Thank you.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Thank you, my sister, for coming on today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
It's as good as we can be right now, right? With everything going on.
Yeah.
It's crazy out here, to say the least.
It could be a lot better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, most definitely. Because every news update I get, at least I feel like I'm hearing enough when it comes to unity, because I'm seeing more people step up who are non-black and join us and move, standing with us and move. So it's very much appreciated, even though I'm still conflicted on a lot of other sides. But I don't want to get too far into that because it's already been draining me and beating me up enough. But I definitely want to get into your story, your journey, who Shailaun is, not only the artist, actress, and model, but the person. How did you get to where you are today, and what struggles did you have to overcome to get there? So start wherever you feel most comfortable, my sister.
All right. Well, hello. I am Shailaun. So I'm from Arlington, Texas. I grew up. Agtown, what's up? I grew up with two sisters and a single mom. And my journey has been trying, but I am living through it, and it's been beautiful, to be honest. At the end of the day, when it all comes down, it's beautiful. So I want to start with why I had a desire to become who I am today, model, singer, actress.
Yes.
I was very much inspired by, I sat in front of the TV a lot, so I was inspired by the model, actress, singer, Whitney Houston.
Oh, wow. I didn't see that in the bio.
Yeah, it wasn't in the bio. Well, it's because, you know, I was really young when I found out about what was happening with Whitney Houston, and I didn't understand it. But what it seemed like was that I needed to change my my inspiration. So I can
understand that.
Yeah.
She's imperfect like we all are.
She is. And hey, I still love Whitney Houston, and I still give her all of the credit still for being the light that I needed to see that in myself, you know.
Absolutely. Because she just did what a lot of us do, you know. We battle different things like our insecurities. She battled with so many different things, and her addictions were there kind of as her crutch, but she still kept her faith through it all. I mean, just watching and learning from her life story, that's the message I got of it, because she's still a legend. She's still one of the greatest to ever do it.
Yes. And
she inspired so many people around the world while she was going through her roller coaster ride. Yes. So it's beautiful and powerful that
yes, it is.
She was one of your role models, and I like to say mentors, because she's an excellent role model, I think, in spite of her imperfections, because we all have them. And those are that's really how you show that it's not about you, and that it's still possible in spite of your flaws.
It's true. And I mean, and her story is my story too, because I definitely had to overcome a lot of obstacles from childhood up until now. When I was young, I was picked on a lot in pretty much every grade. In elementary, not as much. It was more kind of in the family. I was the middle child.
Oh, wow. So, shout out J. Cole.
What up, J. Cole? I like J. Cole, actually.
He said,
but, you know, it was...
Dead in the middle, said big bro and little bro all at once. So big sis and little sis all at the same time.
Yes. Yeah. You know, it was really just, it was kind of difficult to find out who I'm supposed to be. My older sister was like the leader, and she had all the responsibilities. And my little sister was like cute and kind of entertaining and sweet, and the one you want to just cuddle waddle with, you know? And so I was just kind of in there like, okay, well, who am I supposed to be, you know? Right. And that had me act out. That's probably what inspired me to start expressing myself, because I'm like, well, let me show you what I can be and what I can do, and you know, then you'll know what my purpose is, or I'll know what my purpose is, which is really what the I think the journey has always been about, is finding my own purpose. So yeah, at home, you know, a little bit, I struggled there. But when I got into junior high and high school, I was very much made fun of. I was bullied in some cases, and it had me thinking about, you know, who am I? Am I not enough? You know, and it made me, despite having the desire to be just like Whitney Houston, to be a model, to be an actress, to be a singer, despite all of that, it still had me asking the questions, you know, am I enough for this though?
Yeah, am I good enough?
Am I good enough? Yeah, it had me asking those questions. But what has kept me is that, like, along the way, I've found little messages that come from, well, big messages that come from the least expected people, that remind me that I am exactly who I'm supposed to be. I'm going through this journey in order to help other people to overcome, you know, whatever they're overcoming.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's most likely probably something that's similar, you know, the feeling of not being worthy or enough. Shout out to India Ari, by the way.
Yes. Yes. That's
I love her. She is my everything. I love her in music. Yes.
Yes. In life, as a person.
Yes.
I respect her as a mama, as a man. She's just
beautiful.
She raised me. I think it was like some high school and college years. I know I was on her album. I didn't even care if people pulled up and heard me singing India Ari. I did not have any reservation, no qualms about it, as they say.
Yeah.
That's true. So yeah, shout out India Ari.
Yes, and because she reminds us all that we are worthy on every occasion. Every song is just like that message is underlying. So very grateful for her, and she is now my greatest inspiration. So that's who I kind of moved into, you know, listening to and learning from. And
it's a little bit healthier to have her as
it's very healthy. Absolutely. I think it's very healthy, because everything that she's saying is, you know, love yourself. It's healing. It's forgive others. It's forgive yourself. It's, you know, stand up. Everything's going to be all right. It's all of that.
Yeah. So is you incorporate a lot of that into your artistry, I'm guessing, into your music?
I do. I do.
Beautiful.
Because of India Ari and listening to her when I was struggling and not feeling worthy or enough, I'm like, you know what? I have to do this. You know, I wanted to be a singer already, and I love to sing, and I kind of was already singing about love and happiness, but it really did something to me when I realized how powerful words can be. So I told myself that I would dedicate my gift to healing and uplifting others the same.
That's beautiful.
So
that's beautiful. And how and when did you realize how powerful words can be? It's like, was there a specific moment, or was it a series of events or moments? Because I saw that your kind of musical background and how you started singing at like Black History Month programs.
Well, that was powerful in itself.
National anthem, like,
yeah.
Was that was it the words you were singing where you were realizing the power, or is it somewhere or someone else who kind of triggered that for you?
It was the words in the other songs that I was hearing that let me know how powerful they can be, because when I was down and out and feeling like I was at my end, the last straw, it was some word that said, you know,
uplifted your spirit.
Get it together. You know, if you want to heal your body, you got to heal your heart. You know, things like that. India Ari, you know, so I was like, man.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I'm a true fan.
Yes, same. Yeah, so, you know, sitting there bawling and crying and everything, and then you're hearing these words, and it's like, man, and it felt so much better after the song was over. I was like,
it's like, that's what I need to hear. I need that reminder.
Exactly. And that's when I promised myself that I would do the same in my music. I wanted to just uplift people. So
you're returning the favor, and wanting to bring that same kind of joy, healing and uplifting, so that others can cry, get it out, and release all those feelings, whether it's anger, resentment, insecurity, unforgiveness, so many different things that we battle with that just are constantly, it seems like, constantly trying to attack us on a daily basis, and every corner you turn there's another one, but they don't. You would think from childhood to adulthood they leave you alone or something. You think they at least go mess with somebody else for a little while, and it's like nah.
Nah, especially when your purpose is divine. You know, I feel like that's when you're gonna have a lot more obstacles to overcome. It's like the Hercules effect or something. You know, he was a hero and he had to go through all these things. You know,
so much more than the average person.
Just to realize that he was, you know, a child of God, you know, with all this power and might.
Like literally. That's crazy. That's a great analogy, and you hit the nail right on the head. When your purpose is divine, your purpose is so much bigger than yourself, it's like the greater your purpose is, the greater your pain has to be, almost. Because, and I've heard T.D. Jakes talk about that a time or two before. It's like, because you have to be able to relate to so many different types of people. And the best way to relate is to have all these different insecurities, imperfections, the experiences, the struggles, so that when they talk to you about their problems and their issues, you're not turning up your nose like, you must have brought that on yourself. And like, no, actually, I've been there too.
You know
what?
Empathize. You said you said something there. You said bring it on yourself. I think in a way we kind of do, and this is why I say this. Let me say this. It's just because when we have a desire to fulfill a greater purpose, to be something great, then you're going to attract those obstacles.
Absolutely.
So in a sense, you kind of do bring it onto yourself, because you know what I'm saying? You have to, no pain, no gain type of thing. If you want to be the greatest, you know, gamer, NBA star, whatever, then you're going to have to go through a lot of pain. You're going to have some losses. You're going to have to find out what's working, what's not working, and that's going to hurt. Sometimes, you know, but you brought it onto yourself because this is what you asked for. And I will admit that I asked God to make me a great singer and model and actress. I was like, God, I want to be a singer. And he told me, honestly, I was going to be a singer. And I accepted that. And I believed it ever since. But yeah, I've gone through all of these obstacles. And guess where I write my music the most? You wouldn't believe it. While I'm on my knees, bawling on the ground, crying.
Down in the valley.
That's when the music comes out. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's powerful.
So,
yeah, because it's like, God, I want this great purpose. And he's like, you sure?
Yeah.
you know what you're going to have to go through to get to, okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if you stay along for the ride. You can hold on, hang in there.
Yep.
And so I know you said India Ari is one of your musical influences, but I also saw in your bio Erykah Badu and Anita Baker. I mean, Dallas's own Erykah Badu and Miss Anita Baker.
She's so fly. She's so cool.
Yes.
You know, and I love the
timeless.
She's timeless. She's classic. I just love it. And it was also, for me, uplifting, too. Just hearing her music was uplifting as well. And just kind of, you know, I'm going to be honest. Erykah is just more like the sassy, classy, just natural. I love me, the confident, just, you know, this is me, and this is what I do, and I love me, you know. And I needed that kind of person to look toward, you know. So I definitely looked up to her, and also, of course, her being from Dallas, I'm like, man, here she is. She's in my community. You know, I can do it too. You know,
literally homegrown. And so is it?
Yeah.
Do you see it as important for young ladies to have such powerful and confident role models?
Absolutely.
And women who look like them.
Absolutely. I think that's the only way it might not be the only way, but I mean, how can a person you can believe it first, but when you see it, there's just something about it, you know, like seeing somebody achieve the goals that you have set for yourself makes it so much easier. You're like, okay, well, they did it. I know I can. Sometimes we need that little bit of encouragement. You know what? 2 days ago, was it 2 days ago or yesterday? What's today? My nephew's birthday was yesterday. And
happy belated birthday to your nephew.
Happy birthday, Kavion. His birthday was yesterday.
The tall one, right?
Well, he's tall, but he's the youngest.
Okay.
But he had his birthday party at a water park in Grand Prairie, and Epic Water Park. And he was really nervous and scared to do some of the things that were there, but when he saw his brothers and he saw the other children doing it, it was then that he was willing to go out and try it out. And then he realized, oh my God, this was fun, you know, I didn't have to be so scared after all. And it's just like that. When you see somebody doing it, then you're more inspired, you're more motivated, and you see that, okay, I can do it too, because you know, my partner, or you know, whoever did it. And especially when they look like you, though, because it was his brothers who were going up there. There were plenty of other children that were little brown boys, you know, that were going up and doing it. And he saw them and was inspired and did it, you know. So I think it's 100% effective when we have role models or someone that we can look up to.
Absolutely. The most powerful mentors come from where you come from, look like you. And you can be mentored by those who don't look like you.
Absolutely.
It's definitely, it hit homes a lot. It hits home a lot realer, a lot more organically. Let's say when it is someone who looks like you, relates to you.
I would say especially for children. Although in my adult years, just a few weeks ago, I realized I like Taylor Swift.
Shout out Taylor Swift.
She has a lot of power songs too that are like, I can be my best, or I'm great and I love me. And you know, I was just like, wow, this is a very impactful person, and look at the kind of music she's making. She's making music like mine. I was a little bit worried. David, I was going to call you Steven. I was a little bit worried.
Shout out Steven, my brother.
Steven, my honey. I love you, baby.
Yes. He's here, ladies and gentlemen.
He's here.
Support.
Very supportive, 100%. But I was just, I was a little bit worried about coming into the music industry, especially as a Black artist, singing about positive things. I was thinking, man, I don't know if people are going to like my music, because it's all just lullaby, happy songs, whatever.
Joy.
It's joy, and a lot of what you hear today is, want to shake it, and trust me, I shakes it to the songs too. I'm not even gonna pretend like I don't. Look, I do that.
You gotta shake and twerk accordingly.
We need there's something for everybody, right? Exactly. There is a time and a place. My grandma always said that.
Yes.
But I was a little bit worried about that. But when I listened to some Taylor Swift, and I was reminded of India Arie and all the other people who I've been inspired by, I was like, you know what?
The other people you saw do it first.
Exactly.
That empowered you, let you know you could do it as well.
Look how successful these people are. Taylor Swift, financially very successful. India Arie, spiritually very successful. Yeah. I know she has changed so many lives,
Oh yeah, and she's not hurting for a meal, I'm sure.
Not at all.
She may not have Taylor money, but she's doing quite all right.
Yep. And impactful. Both of them equally impactful in my book.
Exactly. And so that's what fed you and your desire to become an artist and to pursue music, because this isn't just a overnight thing. You've been grinding for some years now. How long have you been in music, and where did it start?
Well, it started. I don't remember what year that was, but my aunt, she's always been very supportive of me in my singing career. She was like, you know what, you're a good auntie. Singer. Shout out my Aunt Patsy. I love you. Honestly, there's so many family members who have lifted me up when I look back, but she was a great one for me. She was a teacher, and she was over this program at her school where we're to sing the Negro National Anthem. And so she invited me to come in and sing to the children, and I did. And from then on, I felt this empowerment. Honestly, before then, I would say I was in high school, LD Bell High School. My principal heard me sing. Yep, shout out LD Bell. My principal heard me sing.
Just walking around the school, heard you?
Well, no, I joined two friends of mine. We created a singing group. No, 3.
Oh, wow.
Was it 3 of us or 2 of us?
Y'all kicked somebody out like this.
We're 3 of us. No, we didn't kick anybody out.
It's all good.
We
started with 4.
No. What it was is I left. I moved. So I was just out. I didn't know if they kept it up or not after that.
They couldn't have. Not without you. It's not possible.
There were some beautiful singers, though. They're great singers, especially Shantae. But yeah, it was then. So we did a talent show at the school, and we sang SWV Week.
Oh, right now.
Yep. And my principal saw that, and he asked me to sing at Lawrence D. Bell and Lincoln High School Black History Month program. I was nervous as all get out, but I did it. And once I was done, I was happy. Matter of fact, my girlfriends, they came up on the stage and they sang with me because they saw me shaking. They were like, okay, girl, we got you. So they ran up there. They were there. It was beautiful. But ever since then, I have really started to embrace music and just believe in myself that this is what I'm created to do. There have been some. And
so that was pre-high school, or that was like early high school?
That was like 9th, 10th grade.
Okay, yeah. I saw 04, so I didn't know.
03, 02. So I graduated. I was like the youngest person in my class. Anyway, it don't matter. Somewhere around there. You're right.
Somewhere around high school, early, mid high school.
Yeah.
Okay, so that feeling is kind of because I often try to mentor kids to understand what that feeling is like when you discover your purpose, and how you know when you stumble upon it, so to speak. And that feeling of exhilaration is what it sounds like you experienced just singing at what some would see as just a Black History Month program.
But you know what it was, David? It was, well, first of all, I mentioned this before. God gave me a message as a child. I think I was 7 years old. I wrote a poem that was inspired from the Spirit that said, you're going to be a singer. So I just wrote the poem.
At 7?
At 7 years old. I still have it. I was going to bring it. I just totally forgot, to be honest. I was going to show you guys.
It's all good.
But I'll post it on social media so you guys can check it out. But yeah, it said I'm going to be a singer. So listen to what you hear as a child. You know, when you're young, I think you'll probably get the message. You just have to be listening. I spent a lot of time alone. so I could hear very clearly. But
I understand.
But
that's what I discovered.
Yes, but what it really was that got me going is just there were constantly people along the way in my life that were saying, "You're a great singer. You have a beautiful voice. I would like to hear you sing. Well, why don't you sing?" You know, it was that motivation, that push from the community that
from
really,
the village.
It just kept fueling me, and it's still fueling me to this day.
Absolutely. We need each other. It takes a village.
It takes a village. And so when we as people who are watching these gifted children, we need to make sure that we pour into them and speak out, or even
speak life.
Anybody, we need to tell them what it is that we see. We need to tell them about the light that we see, because if we don't tell them, then they might not ever see it in themselves, you know? Because I don't know if I would have felt that constant confidence and that reignition if it weren't for the people doing that for me, like saying, "You got it. You got that reassurance," you know. So we need to make sure to do that. I definitely believe in that, and I try to do it as much as possible. It's just, you see somebody on the street, they look beautiful, tell them they're beautiful. They sing and they sound good, tell them they sound good. Whatever it is they're doing, great. Magnify that and let them know, you know,
because you don't know what they're going through. Like everybody's going through something. That word of encouragement, just like you said, you look beautiful. Yes. That could literally be the difference between life or death for them if they were thinking about killing themselves because somebody just got through telling them how ugly they were. Yeah, it's we just don't know. And I know that, I forget who said, I think it was like a Joel Osteen. He said sometimes your words can be literally the prayer somebody was praying for. You're an answer to someone's prayer. You may show up and just by a hug or a smile be the angel that someone was looking for. Like you never know, and especially when it comes to children, they may not have parents who are reassuring and reaffirming who they are, what their purpose is. They might have everybody in their family shooting down their hopes and dreams. When you're right, it's that imagination and those dreams as a child that are most vivid, that really tell you what your true purpose is. And what Einstein talked about is how the older you get, the more you move away from that creative brain and imaginative, cognitive brain. So you're literally, the older we get, society tells us what we're supposed to be and tries to package us. So we stop believing in our dreams because that's not realistic. Quit dreaming. Yep.
And I've had that. I've had those things directly happen to me. You know, I'm a professional model and I have been since 2006. Yeah, I was
about to say, but you're a model though. How in the world? How did you overcome those things? Because to be a model, you've been a model for over a decade now. So you're literally a veteran. And I'm not just talking about, you know, this day and age. You got a lot of Instagram models out here. And,
I'm not an Instagram model. I don't even know how to get into that, honestly. I don't even know where to start. Models.
But you're legit. You've been published. You've been in. Okay, let's talk. Can you brag? Do you mind bragging on yourself for the people?
Should I brag
a little?
Quick,
just a little bit. Just the different things you've done. Cause I know I've seen like Michael Bublé video, the Empire of the Sun, Fossil and Southwest Airlines.
Yep, I know some of the. Some things that are out right now are like HEB, groceries.
Shout out HEB.
I know TGI Fridays was a lot of fun. Samsung, really the list goes on. There's a lot of things I've done. That's as much as I can do. I've been all over the nation modeling in runway shows. I did a show called the Sepia Vogue Esquire. No, it was the Sepia Vogue Esquire Models of Chicago is what we were called. It was Sepia Fashion Review. And it's kind of like, it was a rival to Essence. No, to Ebony Fashion Fair. That's what it was. It was the rival to Ebony Fashion Fair. They had the fashion shows that they would tour around the U.S. I did that with the rival people. So that was really cool. I did that for 3 years. Then last year, they told me I was Model of the Year. So I was like, all right, I had enough. But
I said, all right, I can retire from this now.
I've achieved this goal, and I can put that on my resume now.
But you said around the nation, but I saw some Madrid and some.
Well, I went to Madrid. I did. I went to Madrid. Well, I went to Africa, to Equatorial Guinea first. That was my first trip overseas. And it's because a guy named Lucas Escalada, he's a fashion designer. He saw something in me while I was doing a fashion show here in Dallas and was like, I'm going to take you to my country and you're going to be a model in our country's first fashion week.
Wow. That was literally making history.
Well, literally. Yeah. I was.
And what is that country again? Because you said it and I hadn't heard that name before.
So in their language, which is, they primarily speak Spanish, but they're African, it's Guinea Equatorial. But if you say it in English, it's backwards, so it's Equatorial Guinea.
Got you. So
yeah.
Guinea by the equator.
Mm-hmm. It's West Africa on the coast. It's like a little island that's part of a sunken volcano. It's really cool, actually. It's really cool.
You were in their
that was a beautiful
first
experience.
ever fashion week.
Their first fashion week ever.
For the whole country.
Yeah. Malabo Fashion Week. Yeah, it was a beautiful experience. Eye-opening, humbling, amazing. It was really, I loved it. And it's changed my perspective on a lot of things.
In your, was like 12, 13-year career, and you're still young, you've had so many opportunities that people would literally kill for, especially with a lot of major, I say, corporations, brands.
Lots of major
designers, I'm sure, fashion experts, fashionistas.
Yeah.
How in the world did you have struggles like growing up if this is what your career looks like now? Like how?
Like I said,
you think of models as like the most confident people in the world.
Well, so in the modeling industry, you have to think about that we're products. We're just, especially for runway, we're like hangers on the runway. So your body has to be what the designers want / need it to be in order for you to be accepted to walk in their clothing in a fashion show. So there would be, I could go to an audition and I would see all these other models around me. I could be a size 6, and I was when I started. I was a size 6, and you would hear constantly, no, 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 if you weren't like a size 0, 2, or maybe a 4.
Good Lord.
Mind you, I'm pretty tall, so my weight is distributed pretty well, so I still looked healthy. I looked athletic. I looked fit. I was beautiful, but I was constantly getting, no, you're not. You're not enough. You're fat, or maybe I'm not going to say
that does.
It's hard. I'm not going to say I wasn't selected in some cases because I was black, but it seemed like there were lots of cases where designers wanted to have primarily Caucasian girls, and I think that had something to do with who they felt their audience was. But that was also something that had a toll on me. When I'm looking at all the girls who walk in the show and there's only like 1 or 2 that were black, it's like, oh, well, I didn't get it because I'm black. So now I'm like, well, what do I need to do? Then I see that, some of the black girls who are there who did make it have their hair straight and da-da-da. So I'm like, oh, well, I'm not enough because my hair is afro. So that made me not even like my hair for a moment. I didn't like my hair for a moment. I looked at light skin as like better or prettier, because like the lighter you are, the more likely you would be to be in the show. And I didn't like how my body was, because, and I'm not gonna lie, I think a lot of us still have, a hard time accepting our body size and how our body looks. Yeah, we're constantly focusing on that and trying to make sure that it's as perfect as a designer or a client would want it to be, rather than just living in our light and just loving ourselves as we are. Just be healthy, which is what I am. I'm healthy, I'm strong. I'm not skinny though, so I might not be accepted, but I have to choose to love myself. But it was difficult to do that, especially when you're going in, you're young, you're fresh, you're like, yeah, I want to be a model. I'm going to try out. And you try out, and you get there and you see that, you're not white, your hair's not straight, you're not 0. You might be an inch too short.
You're not this enough. You're not that enough.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna blame them, because again, we kind of set ourselves up as models as a product. We're like, we are a product, so we're selling ourselves. So I guess for anybody who would be interested in being a model, you have to realize moving in that you are enough as you are.
Yeah.
But in order to fit with the brand, you have to make some adjustments. It just depends on the brand. Not everybody wants a skinny, thin, or Caucasian model. Some people, and thank God I'm so happy. Don't. Some people, they actually say, I want real people models. I want real models. You know, and I've done shows like that, of course.
It's like, thank God those exist.
So yeah, that's
what real people want. Real people want to see real people models, and and it's like I'm glad you're saying this, because as an experienced model, I think it's important for so many young ladies to understand, like, you have to go into this industry if that's what you're pursuing. I mean, really, just like acting and singing, like knowing who you are. You have to be secure and confident enough in yourself, first of all, to embark upon that journey, because you're going to hear about how unprepared, unqualified, how not good enough you are over and over again. So if you don't have that tribe, that village around you telling you that you are more than enough, you are this, you are that they said you aren't, forget what they said. You have to keep, and then most importantly, pouring into yourself.
You have to.
And believing in yourself, because it's so I'm hearing it's not as peachy and glamorous as the ads or the photo shoots would lead people to believe, because they'll hold on now. Okay, there's some moments. Is that what we're saying?
There's definitely a lot of moments. Don't let me get it twisted, because
once you get past that,
I grew up playing what did you call it? Make believe a lot. So modeling and acting is really just that. So there's still a lot of fun and a lot of joy that can come with being a model. You get to go, and for me, I'm a commercial model primarily, which means I smile for a living. I just smile.
You do that well. You do it well, my sister.
And just be happy. That's really all my job is to do, is be happy, and which awesome. That's really great. I don't really have to face too much stress about my body, as you know,
like a runway model.
Like a runway model would. In the beginning, I was aiming for runway, so that's when I had those struggles the most. Right now, no one's telling me I need to look any different. They're like, "Girl, you look great. Don't lose weight. Don't change anything. You look perfect." So right now, I'm being poured into, like, so much love. It's love overflow.
Beautiful.
So, there are definitely great times, though. I'm having a blast as of late, just playing make-believe and just jumping up for joy and being happy. So, but yeah, you definitely have to come in strong for sure. If you're going to be runway or anything that has to do with your appearance, you want to come in strong, or you want to have a team of individuals that are supportive of you and got your back, you know, that you can cry on their shoulders once you have your audition if you feel like that, you know, just... Or you need to be able to love on yourself.
Bingo.
You know?
That's what I was going to ask. How do you become strong like that?
How do you become strong like that? Yeah.
I think that's the root of the foundation of it. Being able to love on yourself, being able to have that team of people around you, keeping your faith.
I feel like I want to answer that question. I feel like you're going to have to go through it and then just make sure you remind yourself, yes, I am enough. Because I mean, if you don't go through anything, then how are you even going to know what it feels like to feel bad about yourself? You know what I mean? If you don't ever even approach those moments, you're never going to have that. So like we said earlier, I asked for something. I got the struggles and obstacles that came with it. I have to overcome. So if it's your purpose and it's divine, it's going to work in your favor anyway. Just be ready. Just be ready.
Yeah.
And expect it if you're coming into this industry, expect it. So start loving on yourself now.
That's good.
And find ways to be strong, for real. Find ways to be strong. Meditation, you know, looking at yourself in the mirror and smiling and telling you that you love yourself. When I was 10 years old,
important.
I was 10 years old, and I did this camp at my church. And this lady, her name was Miss Napier. She told us, she had a chant for us, a whole bunch of little boys and girls.
You were 10?
I was like 10, 9 or 10 years old.
And you remember this lady's name. That's powerful.
Yes, Miss Napier. I remember what she looked like, too. Tall, dark skin. She had short cut hair, kind of like Anita Baker kind of cut. She was a beautiful spirit. And she would tell us to bury Mr. I Can't. So we actually had like symbolism, like we made a little something and we buried Mr. I Can't. And then she had us chant, I like myself. I like myself. I like myself. I like myself. We did that chant every day that we came into the camp, from what I remember.
Wow.
And it was just all to uplift.
You never forgot her. See,
I never forgot her. No. Oh, no. Because look how great it made me feel.
Yeah.
She told me to love myself, and that made me feel good. And I'm like, I will remember you. You know, you helped heal me.
And that's what you have the power to do now. And that's what you're using your power and influence to do. Because really, I mean, just the good words, the positive words and affirmation you're using through your music, even your modeling is you're smiling, you're bringing that positivity to other people's lives. Just look, I mean, your smiling is contagious. And so she's literally saying, bury Mr. I Can. And
bury Mr. I Can't.
She had you doing your first jingle, your first song. I like myself. That you had to have some rhythm.
Yeah.
So that, and you never forgot her.
I never forgot it.
All these years later. So that's the power, the beauty of
that was 20 years ago.
mentors in your life. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's a powerful mentor. So thank you for sharing that. Hopefully some of y'all watching will be able to take that song and like yourself too after watching this.
Share it with the young people.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you sharing your journey, my sister, and even being transparent enough to share some of the real struggles that you faced to get to where you are, and you still are facing to this day. I really truly appreciate your courage to share that with our audience, because I think
it's nothing now. It's a part of the purpose. I have to. I feel like I have to.
Yes.
I have to.
Agreed. And that's the responsibility. When you look back on those who poured into you, it's like, I like myself. I got to remember I like myself first, so I can tell this one looking up to me that you're supposed to like yourself too. And that's the only way you're going to get here. Keep the faith.
Yep.
Keep the village around you. Realize your purpose is so much greater than yourself. Thank you for this. Has been such a beautiful and powerful interview, and I want the people to know what you're working on currently and what your future plans are at the same time.
So
I know you just dropped some big things. I didn't want to give it out. The world premiere exclusive type situation. But go ahead, my sister.
I just released my first single off of my first album, and the single is called Our First Kiss. It's about my sweetie and I and how we came to be, how we came together from being friends to lovers to now.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Being married soon.
Shout out my wife as well. Yeah, so first single on your first album?
My first album,
It's first body work, because you've been making music. Because when I listened to it on Apple Music, I saw all the other songs you put out.
And you know what? That was people telling me, you're a great singer. Do this. They were fueling me along the way to stay in it and don't give up. So that music is still there.
It's still there. And then now you have a body of work, your first album, your first single on your first album.
Yep.
With your first true love. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw that in there. Shout out my brother Steven. He's off camera, y'all, but y'all see him soon. So that's powerful. And how has the feedback been so far? Because I personally like the song and could relate a lot, and got me in my feels a little bit, made me feel good.
That's what I wanted to do. I wanted it to make people just kind of think about and reflect on memories with their significant other. So I've been having great feedback. So thank you. So far, and I feel like it's probably going to be continuous. The feedback has been very, very positive. More than ever, what's really interesting is I was a little insecure about my voice, about how people were going to receive my voice. Like I mentioned earlier, it's happy-go-lucky. But the biggest compliment I've had is your voice, your voice, your voice. And I'm just like, what?
Hold on.
What? I thought y'all were going to say, cool story, maybe work on the vocals. They said, dope vocals.
Yep.
Love the song. So very positive feedback, and people are loving the way it makes them feel. So
that's beautiful. And that's a whole message in and of itself, because like a lot of times we will keep ourselves from doing exactly what we are supposed to do, and especially we know we're supposed to. You're supposed to put the music out there, especially for the people, especially to share your story. But our insecurities will keep that fear in the back of our head, in the back of our ears, telling us, nah, somebody's gonna clown your voice. Don't you dare. Don't put that out there. And that very thing you're fearful of is exactly what somebody else is like, yes, work, hunty.
Yep. And that's what the journey is about, overcoming the fear.
Bingo.
And I've been learning that all along the way. It's just overcome it. So what? They're going to say things. Just do it. Like, I can have so many doubts. David, I have had so many doubts about myself in so many ways. But at the end of the day, I had to just keep pushing. You know what? Can I tell y'all? I'm going to tell them about coming here. I mean, and it's really brief, but
share, be real.
I was struggling even getting here today. I was, because, you know, like we mentioned about the modeling industry and how I've been conditioned to be perfect everywhere I go. Or to at least try to be like spotless everywhere I go. And so when I looked in the mirror before I left, I just didn't feel like I was perfect. I didn't feel like I was enough yet. And I cried, and I was struggling, and I was angry, and I was sad. And it was like, you know, unfortunately my babe probably experienced some of that. He felt it, you know, he was like, dang, you know, like, it was wrong, you know. It was, and it took for me to just, of course, he's my support. It took for me to just pour it out, express it, and like say what's wrong and get over it, you know, and just remember what my purpose is. Like, we have to that's been the way that I've overcome fear, is just remember why you're here.
That's good.
You have to remember your why. You have to. Without that, it could be a hard time accomplishing anything. You know, if you don't have that solid reason and that purpose, then you could probably you could fail at anything if you like.
Absolutely.
But you can succeed at anything, at everything, if you just keep that why as your core, as your center, that drive.
Absolutely. This is a powerful quote that says, if you know your why, you can endure anyhow.
Yeah. That's good.
That's you. That's you all day. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for being transparent enough to share that.
I'm here now.
She's here. Gave an amazing interview, and this almost didn't happen, y'all, because it's that fear talking to us. Like, it's hard not to be insecure. We're all insecure when we're all imperfect, but it's amplified when you are put on a stage, when you're put in front of a camera like this. I gotta keep looking at my shirt to make sure I'm not looking crazy. There are things. I got acne issues like I've always had, and
it could be anything.
I thought would go away. It could be so many things that it's so tempting to step out of the path you're supposed to be, or you've been put in, your divine purpose, your greater purpose. It's so tempting, so easy. It's easy to do. Exactly, it's distractions from what you know you're supposed to be doing. And now she be stepping fully into her purpose, fearlessly pursuing music the way she's always known she's supposed to. And she just dropped her first album and the first singles with her first single.
My first single for the first album. The album's not out yet.
So we got an exclusive. So we did get an exclusive, y'all. Might have to let y'all hear some of that. So we got an exclusive. And by the way, the album's not out yet. I heard a little birdie told me, like, one of the producers, actually he was just on our Geek Lease Esports Masterclass yesterday, just interviewed him.
I saw that.
Shout out my boy.
That was really cool to see that.
Is the little birdie told me right, was that he produced some of the album? Or
Our First Kiss was produced by Ricky Slick Offord, who's an amazing individual, a godsend, another person that came into my life and said, "You're enough, just as you are. You sound great. I see what you're doing, and I want to support." So thank you so much, Slick, for that. He did produce that. He produced that song, and he is working on other songs on my album right now.
Good. I'm excited for that. Yeah, that's the bro. He killing the game, man.
He's an amazing person. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. And hearing his testimony, man, you know, there's no accident that we're here.
Not at all.
You gotta live fully in your purpose each and every day, because not one of them is promised, y'all. So
it's true.
Don't let other people talk you out of it either.
Don't let yourself talk you out of it. Don't let your doubts talk you out of it, because it could be you sometimes. Actually, I honestly think it's always us. I think it's the loudest voice for sure. Yeah, man. When other people do it, they might just be projecting and stuff, but that might not be you. But if you accept it in your own mind, then that's where you get that pain from.
And do you have anything else coming up that you want to share with the people, and how can they reach out and connect with you?
Well, there is something that's happening with Our First Kiss. I'm doing a giveaway right now. It's for couples, and what it is I'm having people to just go onto my Instagram. It's at Shailaun, Shailaun, and like that, and then like my Steven and Shy page, which is me and my hubby's page as a couple.
Yeah.
And then tag a couple and tell us your story. Tell us your love story. I love to hear love stories, and this is the kicker.
Same.
I want to inspire hope in people who may feel like there is none for finding their husband or finding their wife or finding that love that they're looking for. So I think that it would be really cool for as many stories to be shared as possible, so we can all see that it can come about in many different ways, so
that's beautiful.
That's all you have to do, and then we'll find the best story and we'll share it. I'm going to be sharing everybody's stories though with the world, but
love it.
But
and where do they go again? Because I know you said you're
Shailaun. Yeah, it's at Shailaun, and they'll find the giveaway information.
And that's on Instagram.
On Instagram, it's an Instagram only giveaway.
All right, y'all know where to go.
Because that's where all the millennials are at, right? And there's some older people too. Hey, all the love. I posted on Facebook to share on Instagram. But
and by the way, just another exclusive. Where did the name Shailaun come from?
Shailaun.
Is that your birth name? Is it,
you making me tell my government name.
You
okay?
You don't want to tell the government. You ain't got.
Nah, it's cool. It's on papers all over the place. So my name is Shailaundra, Shalaundra. That's the name my mommy gave me. And you need to know the story why I even changed it beyond what I told you earlier. So
right now.
Initially, I was having some issues because people in school were calling me Salami Mayonnaise.
Oh Lord!
Instead of Shailaundra Manning. So I kind of didn't like my name, so I started going by Clarice. But I started going to this modeling school, and at the end of when it came down to like graduation, they were telling us, this is where you can create yourself. Now, who do you want to be? You can keep the name you have, or you can change your name to make it, to step into your light. If it's a simple name, Amy, whatever, great, go with it. You choose. So I was like, you know what? I think I would change my name because I was already having difficulties. Part of the reason why I changed it too was because the drug, I took it off because on paper I felt like I would probably be stereotyped potentially. If people were to see my name Shailaundra, they might think, oh, she's this and she's that. So I took the drug off.
You get a chance to show them who you are.
Before I can even show them who I am. I heard about it, and so I was like, I don't want that to be me. So let me do something with my name. Took the drug off, and then I put an I in it. And I said, the I is for me. It's me claiming me and my purpose and just owning myself. Yeah. I am Shailaun, and I went with it. Then years later, I went to break down what my name means, I didn't find something direct that said Shailaun. It means blah, blah, blah. But I found Shai, which is the gift. And I found Lawn, which is just to purify. And I realized that, and it was a message given to me, that the meaning of my name is God has made the gift pure.
Wow.
God has made the gift pure. And I've stuck with that.
And to purify others.
To purify others. Well, if the gift is pure and I'm giving the gift away,
bam.
Hopefully that's what it's going to help to do.
You're definitely doing that, my sister. Wow, that's powerful. Thank you for sharing the meaning behind your name and your government. Y'all don't rewind that. Don't be trying to get her government out you.
It's all good.
We're gonna have some problems. My brother Stephen gonna come looking for you. And so bonus round, since we are at Geek Leads Esports Studios, of course, professional gaming is on our mind. So we just want to know, what influence did gaming have on you growing up? What was the impact of gaming on your childhood?
What was the impact of gaming? You know what? When I think about gaming, I think about family more than anything. I think about family and communication and gathering, that togetherness. Because every time I was playing a game, I always had somebody right there with me. And it was always like a grand celebration. My grandma, she had, well, my grandma and my grandpa, they had events all the time for every occasion. So we would all go over there. She had like 8 children, so that's a lot of grandkids. I know you can imagine. So we were always there. She had an attic for us, and it had a little TV, a Nintendo 64, I believe. System. And I think some of my cousins would bring over their Sega, and so we would all just gather around that TV, and we would just be playing that game, and it was just so fulfilling. You know, it was just like, man, this is family. It was such a good feeling. And more than anything, when I think of gaming, I think of a family experience, even today. So sometimes Steven and I, we go and hang out with the family, and we all gather together and we play the, Nintendo Switch. We play Nintendo Switch, and we're just doing, we're having fun, exercising, dancing, all gaming though. And it's just a beautiful experience. It's just a togetherness feeling, and it's just reminded me like how important those kind of things are, like gathering and sharing those experiences with each other, so it's really helped to, how do I say this? It's really helped to like shape what it means to spend time with family. That's a huge part of it for sure. That's powerful. Especially as children. And even now, so I'm thinking about getting a game, actually. We just got our TV mounted on our wall today. And I was like, man, what do we need to do if we want to get a game system, so we got to get you back over here? Because I'm excited. I want to get me a system. I think I want to get something like that Nintendo Switch too, or like
shout out Steven. He played with me my first time playing Fortnite ever on my birthday. So, that was, I think we might all be getting game systems here soon.
Yep.
Have a big kid party.
Exactly. That would be so fun. Nostalgia.
Cool. Come to Geeklies. What's up? And so, last question. You've mentioned a lot of powerful mentors that helped shape and mold you into the woman you are today. Is there anyone else you want to include? Or it could be one person, could be a few.
Flowers.
But no pressure. Just that come to mind.
People that come to mind. Well, I love my mom.
Absolutely.
I love my mom. I used to not give her so much credit because I wanted to own this for myself, who I am. And I do. But I can't deny that if it weren't for my mom trying, and my mom, June, if it weren't for her, like, sacrificing a certain amount of time and energy and effort to get me to my rehearsals or to my recitals or to, modeling school or, a flight or whatever, I wouldn't have been able to do this. So, I mean, I had the perfect mom, for my journey. I have the perfect mom for my journey. And so I would give my mom a shout out for that. Despite anything that possibly could have happened next. Because, you know, we have ups and downs. Despite any ups and downs, my mom, I can say, has sacrificed for me to be where I'm at today. So I would say shout out to Mom. I love you, Mom.
Shout out Mama June. We love you over here. That puts a perfect exclamation point on this interview. So happy for you. So proud of you, my sister.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Y'all, you just heard a powerful interview. Thank you for sharing this story with our audience who definitely needs it during these times. Y'all, I know that you're going to watch this and it's going to uplift you the way the great artist uplifted her.
I hope so.
Her music. Oh, absolutely. I know so. I'm going to be hearing back. You probably going to hear them. They're going to reach out to you too. And hopefully they're going to listen to your music so they can get uplifted by the music as well.
Yes,
especially
stay tuned.
When you're looking for love out here, y'all.
Looking for love. I write a lot of love songs because my honey, he's a lover bear. And so.
that he is. That he is. So y'all
hear a lot of that.
Thank you for tuning in, y'all, for another powerful episode of the MentorConnector podcast here on the Geek Leads Esports Masterclass. Again, I'm your host, King David Reeves, and want to thank our very special guest, my sister Shailaun Manning. We're not going to throw that out there, though.
Shailaun Nickerson.
Yeah. Shailaun Nickerson, ladies and gentlemen. This is the introduction. Threw that out there. Bam. Just so you know. We love y'all, and we'll see you later. Tune in again.
Love you guys.
See each other at the public library. I still remember the night we saw each other at the game. You took me home, we danced the night away. May not remember everything that happened until now, but there's some things on which I like to reminisce. I won't forget the night I talked you into taking me out. We were just friends, but I was thinking about our first kiss. Ooh la 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 la. Ooh la la la, our first kiss. Ooh la 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 la. Out and having iced tea on the patio. Passion tea, remember you liked yours extra sweet. I remember playing brandy from my car. You shared Xavier Omar, and you knocked me off my feet. May not remember everything that happened then till now, but there's some things on which I like to reminisce. To my mama's house, just you and me and fireflies, the sunset sky, and our first kiss. Ooh la 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 la. Ooh la la la, our first kiss, yeah. Ooh la 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 la. Some things on which I like to reminisce. I'm so excited for our sandy feet digging in the ground. We'll say I do and I love you, and we'll remember our first kiss. Ooh la la
Geekly Studios.